Hello and welcome to this Astranti Connect YouTube video taking a look at the definitive guide to counselling qualifications. Now this particular video and video series is for those of you who have decided that you do want to become counsellors, you want to undertake counselling qualifications, but you're not quite sure where to start. There are so many different types of counselling qualification out there, and it can be very difficult to decide which one is right for you. So this video is going to take a look at the kinds of counselling qualifications there are and which ones are going to get you your membership and which ones are going to provide you with the best formal training. And if you do like this video, please like and subscribe, and also visit our website www.astranticonnect.com. And also feel free to drop me any comments in the box underneath if you have any questions about what we cover, or if there's anything else you'd like us to record a video on, if there's anything that you would like some clarification on. So let's take a look at counselling qualifications. Now, of course, becoming a counsellor is a very noble pursuit. It's something that involves having an impact on the lives of not just yourself, but others around you, the impact on the lives of your clients. And so it's very important that you have the best possible training that you can. If you're going to be in such a position of responsibility, if you're going to be in a position where you can have such a direct impact on the lives of others, it's important that you are trained effectively. In fact, the BBC recently ran an article talking about the dangers of attending a counsellor or having sessions with a counsellor who was not properly trained, and how the advice given, information given could be dangerous, could have a negative impact. So, we've cleared that up. It's very important to have appropriate training. But of course, what is appropriate training? Particularly if you are just starting your counselling journey, you may not be aware of the various different membership organisations, the various different awarding bodies, and what the difference is. So again, that's why we've created this guide, to give you that information, to help with you to see with a bit more clarity the kinds of courses that are available. So we'll start by looking at getting qualified. I'm sure that's why many of you are here, why many of you are looking for counselling qualifications, is you want to qualify as a counsellor. But it's worth checking that that is the case, because a lot of people actually undertake counselling qualifications, particularly the lower level counselling qualifications, for their own personal development, to help understand themselves a bit more, to help them with their own self-reflection, and also in certain organisations as well. For example, people that work in human resources sometimes benefit from the lower level counselling qualifications because it teaches them how to be more empathetic. It teaches them about how people work and why people feel the way they feel. So it's worth checking that that is what you want to do, whether you do want to become a qualified counsellor or whether you just want some extra counselling skills as part of your job, in which case just taking the first few qualifications for your own personal development may be enough. But if you do want to become a qualified counsellor, you want to be able to call yourself a therapist, you want to be able to call yourself a counsellor, etc., then you need more than the basic training. In fact, if you want to operate as a counsellor, whether that's in private practice, whether that's through an agency, or whether that's with the National Health Service, etc., then it is thoroughly recommended that you gain membership of a professional organisation. And the most popular one, or the largest organisation, the largest counselling membership organisation within the United Kingdom, is the British Association for Counselling and Psychotherapy. So if you've seen the acronym BACP, this is what they are referring to. And the reason why it's so important to have a membership of a body like this is because they set higher standards, and you must meet those standards in order to become a member. So when the National Health Service is looking through a CV, if you're applying there, or if someone is looking for counselling and they're looking through different counsellors that are available in their area, someone that is BACP accredited is going to have an advantage. In fact, we would recommend that you must have a membership in order to practice. So I wouldn't consider it to be particularly ethical to practice without it. But that leads itself to more questions as well. Because not only is it essential that you become professionally trained and professionally qualified, there are a number of different membership bodies. And there's also a distinction between accredited and approved that we need to clear up. So, what is the difference between accredited courses, approved courses, and accreditation? Well, we'll start with accreditation. To earn your accreditation is to essentially earn your membership, to receive your BACP accreditation. You're accredited as a BACP member. So that's what accreditation means. Now, the difference between accredited courses and approved courses is slightly different. So an accredited course is a course that is essentially awarded by a certain body. Now, you can undertake BACP accredited courses, and these are directly accredited by BACP. But you can also take a BACP approved qualification. And this is when the award is accredited and given by a different body, but it is also approved by BACP. Now, a classic example of that is CPCAB. Sorry for bringing in another acronym. So CPCAB courses are accredited by CPCAB, but they are directly approved by BACP. So if you have undertaken your CPCAB courses, which generally are considered the highest standard, the highest level of counselling courses, you will still be able to earn your BACP membership because those courses are approved by BACP. Still with me? If not, please feel free to pause the video and think about that, or rewind, or also drop me a message as well, and I'll be able to respond with some further information about that. But the long and short of it is that when you are searching for qualifications, when you're searching for courses you want to qualify as a counsellor, you should look for courses that are either accredited by BACP or approved by BACP. And that includes courses like CPCAB courses. So generally look for CPCAB or BACP when you are searching for courses. And that way you can be sure of the standard of teaching that you are receiving, which is going to have a direct impact on how good a counsellor you can be in the future, because you will have received that formal training. But having said that, BACP is not the only professional body. There's also the National Counselling Society, which is another major UK professional body. So if you see NCS approved courses, NCS accredited courses, then that is also valid. But we do believe here at Connect that BACP accreditation is preferable to National Counselling Society accreditation. This is because the BACP approval, the standards are higher. The standards are higher, the amount of practical experience you have to qualify as a member is higher as well. So generally a BACP approved or BACP accredited counselling course was likely to be at a higher standard than one from the National Counselling Society. However, that's not to say that National Counselling Society accredited or approved courses are not of a decent standard. They're still of a very high standard as well. It's just that BACP is slightly higher. And another thing before we move on is that BACP and the National Counselling Society are contributing to the Scope Ed framework. And this is a big framework which is coming into effect shortly in the counselling industry. And the main reason for it is to try to standardize some of the different standards that are going on throughout the industry, to bring a bit more overarching clarity. And they're also working with other professional membership bodies as well, such as UKCP, which is a more specific psychotherapy membership organization. But the long and short of it is that if you are looking to become a qualified counsellor, you should be looking to become an official accredited member of one of the membership bodies. And by taking a CPCAB course or a BACP approved course, then you'll be well on your way towards doing that. So, we've covered why it's so important to join a counselling membership body, but how would you actually go about doing that? And that's what we're going to cover in this next section of the video, is how you would go about joining either BACP or NCS. And you can join them either as a member or as a student, depending on whether you finish your training when you become qualified. Now, you don't have to apply as a student and become a student member whilst you're going through your studies. You can wait until you have completed your studies before you apply for membership. So it's not a direct requirement to be a BACP member while you are in your studies. But once you have completed your studies, you can also apply for membership. And we're going to look at the requirements now for BACP, and it can be done through their websites where you can apply to be a member. You receive a membership number, you have to fill out an application form, and you have to provide evidence that you have met the requirements. So, what do you need to have done to become a BACP member? Well, the first thing you need to have done is to have completed a counselling or psychotherapy core practitioner training course. And this is a level 4 level course. It needs to be a full course. It needs to have about 450 hours of formal education. Now, a 450-hour course would usually be around about 2 years. And if you have a course that is around about 420 hours, which is what a lot of level 4 courses are, you will also need to have taken at least another 30 hours of formal training. This could be through your CPCAB level 2 or level 3. So if you are unsure, do check with your provider. Check that it does have sufficient hours, does cover sufficient hours to earn you your membership, along with the extra hours from perhaps a level 2 or level 3 course. You must also take this in a classroom course. And what I mean by a classroom course is the level 4 courses must be taken face to face. BACP does not allow for online training for the core practitioner course, at least any more than about 25%. So if it's 75% in a classroom, 25% online, it may still be acceptable. But generally, try to aim for a course that is classroom based. And what's also important here is that it must be what is known as a synchronous course. And a synchronous course means that everyone is there at the same time. All of the students, all of the tutors are there at the same time doing the same work. Now, of course, that's likely to happen anyway in a classroom, but if there is an online portion to your course, it must be an online class where everyone is logging on at the same time working through the same content. If you are given home studies materials where you go off on your own time to do your own reading, to watch pre-recorded lectures, etc., that does not count towards a core practitioner course according to BACP. So be very wary of any counselling training provider that is giving you these home study courses. They are not accepted by the membership bodies. You will also need to undertake a supervised placement of at least 100 client hours. So this is the practical side of the course, where you've got a minimum of 100 hours of counselling experience under your belt before you apply. And many training providers, such as Trying to Connect, do help you to earn these placements as well. And you're also given an additional year to complete those 100 hours. So it's not a case of you having to do all 100 of them at the same time as you're doing your studies. But you can also join them as a student member, join BACP, and you must be currently undertaking the course and must be at least 1 year into that course. And again, like I said before, it must be 100% classroom based, or at very, very least 70 to 75% classroom based, with the remainder coming from online, but it must be synchronous training. And to join the National Counselling Society, it's a bit different than BACP. It doesn't have any formal specifications quite in the same way. It's more holistic. It's more about seeing whether you can contribute to them, seeing what your qualifications are, seeing how much experience you have, and debating that or having an interview with them to see whether or not that they will award you membership. So if you have any questions about that, then please look at the National Counselling Society site. If you do want to apply for membership there, you will of course need to undertake an application form, same as with BACP. So we've covered why you should be a member of a membership body, and also how you would go about doing the requirements that you need to go about earning your membership. But what about the actual qualifications that you need to become a qualified counsellor? What are these core practitioner courses that you need to earn your membership? Well, that's going to be covered in the next video, so please do stay tuned for that. And I do hope that this video has given you some insight into why it's so important to become a member of a counselling membership body, and also the routes to achieving that. And if you do have any further questions, then please do ask in the comments below, or do feel free to email us or contact us through our website www.astranticonnect.com. So thank you very much for watching this video. Do hope you've enjoyed it. Another reminder to please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will have plenty of other videos coming over the coming months, and I do hope to see you again for the next video. Goodbye for now.